25 at the Lincoln and a good 30 inbound at the George Washington Bridge. In Queens, the inbound LIE is slow from the Grand Central in through Queens Boulevard. The Grand Central sluggish Francis Lewis.
Describe New York. Well, if I were to describe New York, I'd say one word. Exciting! Outrageous. New York City. We have good things, we have bad things.
One word. One word.
One word. One word. Fabulous.
Intense.
Confusion.
New York is crazy. I'm telling you, it is crazy. I love it here.
It's the best.
New York, the Big Apple, in the 1980s. A fun place full of exciting musicians, live shows, concerts, music, and more. It was a vibrant place full of exciting things at the time, and a very vibrant and colorful and very beautiful scene. In the midst of this, a Sacramento-based man would become an enigma and a puzzling, confusing part, but powerful part of rock and roll and musician art history. But who exactly was this man?
And this is my new album, Hi, How Are You? Yeah? And it's an old album, but if you get a chance, please listen to it. Okay, thanks.
When are we going to drop the bomb?
Oh, I hope you like it. Okay, are you going to listen to it?
Yeah.
All right, please do.
I heard that song Walking the Cow, you know, and I see some people really liking that song, you know. What did they think I meant?
True love will find you in the end. You'll find out just who was your friend.
I'm gonna wham him
Don't be
in the
sad,
head.
I know you will.
I'm going, buddy. I'm going. I'm going, buddy. I'm going.
But don't
suddenly
give up
hearing
until
20 amazing songs,
true
and
love
they're out of nowhere
will
from this
find
weird little guy.
the end.
Hello.
Austin, Texas, a dynamic city long known for its quality of life and scenic beauty, is today the fastest growing metropolis in the South and Southwest United States. Selected as the capital of Texas in 1839, Austin is an important center for government, education, high technology, and the arts. Its central location within Texas and between the east and west coasts of the United States, as well as its proximity to the cities of San Antonio, Dallas, and Houston, offer Austin a strategic geographic advantage.
Daniel Dale Johnston was born January 2nd, 1961 in Sacramento, California, the youngest of 5 children of William Dale Bill Johnston and Mabel Ruth Foyles Johnston. He began recording music in his early childhood, as early as the 1970s, on boombox and cassette tapes. His earliest recordings were on a budget of $59, playing piano and singing on a Sonio Mono boombox. Later growing up in New Cumberland, West Virginia, he graduated from Oakland High School before making a couple changes from different schools. Notably, he spent a few weeks at Abilene Christian University in West Texas before dropping out. He later attended Kent State University in East Liverpool, where he actually recorded some of his music there as well. In 1984, Johnston took a job at McDonald's and began passing out his tapes at the store. Along this course of time, he also had several jobs, using it as a way to promote his music alongside it and gain attention to it and attraction. Eventually, over this course of time, Daniel moved to Austin, Texas full-time, traveling with a corn dog stand and a traveling carnival to promote himself. Doing this, though, was actually somewhat successful. In so, Daniel had gained the attention of the local press and was gaining a small following of fans from selling these tapes and so at his previous jobs, like McDonald's and so. And before he knew it, people were even anticipating him to play live, and when he did, it was a well-attended show, with many people showing up to hear Daniel's music and his singing, as well as to see his vibrant, energetic, and soulful spirit when singing and playing his music on live stage. But with every person who has something like this comes an underlying issue or a deep secret. and with Daniel, it was mental illness. Daniel had bipolar disorder, and had even spent long extended periods in psychiatric institutions for his mania problems. But when I think of this, it comes to think of like Leslie Willis and artists like that. If you look at interviews with Leslie Willis, his schizophrenia and his mania are also ways for him to use music as a way to escape it and kind of cope with it and find ways to find beauty in his life. It seems like with Daniel, with his mania and his bipolar, this is the same feeling. And with his spot in the Austin, Texas scene in the heart of the 1980s, this led to him being featured on a 1985 episode of MTV's program The Cutting Edge, featuring artists from the Austin, Texas scene.
Club scene isn't the only place where things happen in Austin. Musicians and their friends gather around the open grill on summer afternoons and enjoy the local delicacies.
This is Daniel Johnston, local man about town, musician. Everyone knows who he is, but say hi to everyone.
My name is Daniel Johnston. This is the name of my tape, and it's Hi, How Are You? And I was having a nervous breakdown when I recorded it. How you doing? We're having a casual conversation on national TV.
Yeah.
This is the David Thornberry from Daniel Johnston. And Dave, here I am on MTV holding up my tape, Hi, How Are You? And they're recording me tonight. I'm on MTV. Remember when we used to watch MTV back home? Look, I'm on MTV, David.
One important thing to note here too is his demeanor when he's playing music and introducing his music too. You see a very happy guy in a very chill, almost childlike state. This is why I truly believe Daniel to have been using music as a coping skill for his mania. It obviously is that way, as he's had several severe mental breakdowns during his life and death. One very severe one had Johnston believing in a manic psychotic episode that he was Casper the Friendly Ghost, which resulted in him ripping the key from the ignition of a moving plane. Luckily, Johnston's father, a former U.S. Air Force pilot, crash-landed the vehicle and landed them safely with only minor injuries. However, severe breakdowns like this were the reason he's been involuntarily committed. And even further public interest sparked when the infamous Kurt Cobain of Nirvana was spotted wearing a Hi, How Are You artwork shirt, and also quoted him as having one of his albums as one of his favorite work in his 1993 entry in his journal. And in 1993, the Sound Exchange record shop commissioned Johnston to paint his infamous Hi, How Are You frog artwork onto a mural onto the wall there. You see, Johnston really did embrace and do everything DIY and everything ethics of that. From a young age of a kid, he was making music on DIY equipment, and also he was making all of his artwork, mostly all made by hand and used for his various artwork for his albums. And despite the location of the store changing from stores to restaurants over the years, it seems that the residents of the area seem to want to keep the Hi, How Are You mural for a long time to come. On the 11th of September 2019, tragic news struck. The heartbreaking announcement had come that Daniel Johnston, now age 58, had passed away sadly at his home in Waller, Texas. The cause of death of his passing was a heart attack. But despite this, we can still remember him as the person who brought people to life with his music, his art, and his work. And a man who sprung to joy in life when playing music, despite his mania, bipolar, schizophrenia, depression, anxiety, and many things he raised awareness for to let people know they were not alone. His music was touching to many, and the way he was so happy about having something like that and using music as a way to cope with it really spoke to people. And to quote Daniel, "I believe in God, I sir believe in a devil. There's certainly a devil, and he knows my name." It looks like Daniel had conquered his devil, mania, bipolar, and schizophrenia, and learned to love and to be accepted into his heaven with the power of music.
And Austin music legend Daniel Johnston has died. The Austin Chronicle reports he passed away Monday night from a heart attack. Johnston got his start in the 80s, passing out cassette tapes, and eventually gained worldwide recognition as a songwriter. He also left his mark on the city with the iconic Hi, How Are You mural at 21st and Guadalupe Streets. Johnston was 58.
And who created the iconic Hi, How Are You mural in Austin died today.
Her life had died, really, because I've been listening to his music for so long, and there have been parts of my life where it was so meaningful.
You could feel the heartache in his music, and
I think the first song I ever heard that he wrote was True Love Will Find You in the End, and I get chills every time I hear it. There was a raw quality to his voice, so simple and so familiar that everybody could recognize a part of them in the art he created.
simplicity made it sound bigger than it really was, and it made you connect to the feelings of the songs.
He's very emblematic of old Austin. On tape, he was just this kind of clumsy piano and guitar playing dude with a weird warbly voice and some very strange lyrics that somehow created this very passionate, sincere feeling body of work that's been pretty meaningful for a lot of people.
Not a lot of people can write songs like he did, and with him gone, it's really like a huge hole in independent music.
As he's listening to his music, UT student Alistair Keegan paid his respect to artist Daniel Johnston by laying flowers at one of the most visited murals in the city.
You can't listen to a Daniel Johnston song and not feel something, whether that's love or nostalgia.
The man behind this mural and the music heard around the world died at 58 years old on Wednesday morning at his home outside of Houston. His family said that he died of natural causes.
The person I believe was the greatest living songwriter of my generation. Daniel Johnston was literally at the level of a Bob Dylan or a Lou Reed. Daniel Johnston, you know, we're not going to see another unique artist like him in our lifetime.